What's going on, everybody? Mike the Lost Texan here, and today we're making chili. First thing we're going to do, we're going to need some chilies. I'm going to post the full recipe in the description. What we're going to go off with right now is getting these things seeded and busted up into pieces. As you see right here, we're just splitting them down one side with a pair of kitchen shears. Dumping the seeds out. Snip them into inch and a half chunks. Doesn't have to be anything precise. Now what I'm doing today is I am making a 9 pounds of meat chili. This thing's going to be big. We plan on canning it, so we're not going to be eating off this right away. Going through, I've got a smaller recipe, 2 to 3 pounds of beef. What we're using today is 6 pounds of beef and 3 pounds of pork sausage. I've done really good with this. It's a really good Texas chili recipe. So if you're expecting beans in this thing, you're out of luck. So I'm using Gallardo. I don't even know how to say it. I'll post it in the... About 6 of these. Now we're going to put them into just a plain old pan, big old stock pot I got. And we're going to put that on about a medium to medium high heat. No oil, no nothing. We're just going to start roasting these things just a little bit, kind of wake the heat up a bit. Get that flavor going. That's going to go for just a few minutes. Just about anything big in there, bust it apart. Keep it moving around a little bit so you don't burn anything. All right. After about 3 or 4 minutes, get a good smell off of them. Gonna take beef stock. This is about 9, almost 10 cups of beef broth that I'm using today. So like I said, this is going to be a big batch. Pour all that in. We're going to let that simmer for about 15 minutes. All right, about 15 minutes has passed. We got a good rolling boil on it. Back it down. Let it simmer in. And now comes the messy part. Go ahead, turn that fire off. Get your big blender out. Start pouring it in. I had to do it in 2 batches. Get everything all ground up in there. It's probably best if you do this when the wife's not home, because if she sees the kitchen as this kind of mess, she's just going to absolutely flip. Got all that done. Now here's all the meat. Salt and pepper to taste. Remember, you got quite a bit of meat here, so it's a healthy amount. So I'd say about a teaspoon per pound or a little less of salt. Quite a few good cranks with the pepper mill. I'm just going to brown that meat. I'm not going to worry about draining it later on. I'm just going to leave that grease in there because I got a plan for that. It's going to sit out in the garage where it's bitterly cold out. All that grease is going to float to the top, and we'll be able to chunk it off then when it's hard. It's easier that way. Alright, time to get the other ingredients going. Got some onions here. Cut them any way you want. Chop up those onions. I dice mine. Decent size, but they don't have to be anything crazy. Alright, gonna start putting spices together. Got coriander, cumin, I like to add a little sage into mine because it gives it a good flavor also. Chili powder. Garlic powder. Should have fresh garlic in this, but I was out and I didn't feel like going to the store. Paprika. You can use regular or smoked paprika. It's up to you. All right. Diced tomatoes. I got 4 cans of regular diced tomatoes, 2 cans of chilied. Just open them any way you want. We start adding in our ingredients. Meat's all nice and browned up there. Give it a good stir. Go ahead and turn that fire off for now. Onions can go in. All those spices go in. Now we start putting in our tomatoes. chilies and beef broth that we put through the blender earlier. All that gets poured in. And you can put in some masa harina. That's for thickening. I didn't do it this time, but you could also put in some chipotles, canned chipotles, and some adobo sauce. You can get those in the cans. The sauce is in there also. You can add that in. It kicks up the heat a little bit. So there you go.